2026 Michigan DMV Knowledge Test Class Test 150 Questions and Complete Answers. Question 1. Failing to drain air tanks could result in Option A. Water accumulations freezing and causing brake failure. Option B. Squishy brakes. Option C. Too much air collecting in the tanks. The correct answer is option A. Water accumulations freezing and causing brake failure. Explanation. In an air brake system, the air tanks must be periodically drained to remove accumulations of water and compressor oil. If water is not removed, it could freeze in cold weather and cause brake failure. Question 2. As the driver of a truck carrying a load, you are responsible for all of the following, except Option A. Inspecting the cargo. Option B. Recognizing poorly balanced weight. Option C. Knowing the phone numbers of all fire departments along your intended route of travel. The correct answer is option C. Knowing the phone numbers of all fire departments along your intended route of travel. Explanation. It is the driver's responsibility to inspect their cargo, recognize overloading or poorly balanced weight, know that the cargo is properly secured and does not obscure the driver's view, and know that the cargo does not restrict access to emergency equipment. The driver is responsible for their cargo even if they were not the one who initially loaded and secured the cargo. Question 3. When starting an engine, oil pressure should come up to a normal level. Option A. Within seconds. Option B. Within 5 minutes. Option C. After about 3 minutes. The correct answer is option A. Within seconds. Explanation. Look at your truck's gauges when starting the engine. The oil pressure in an engine should come up to a normal level within seconds of the vehicle's engine being started. Question 4. If a vehicle's anti-lock braking system ABS is malfunctioning. Option A. The vehicle will have no brakes. Option B. The vehicle will still be able to brake. Option C. The vehicle will likely travel faster than usual. The correct answer is option B. The vehicle will still be able to brake. Explanation. An anti-lock braking system ABS intervenes to reduce brake pressure if there is a risk of wheel lock. If the ABS isn't working, the vehicle's basic braking functions are not affected. A driver should continue to drive and brake in a normal manner. Question 5. When loading cargo, weight should be placed. Option A. As high as possible. Option B. As low as possible. Option C. As far back as possible. The correct answer is option B. As low as possible. Explanation. A vehicle is vulnerable to tipping over if its center of gravity is too high. To prevent this, you should distribute the weight of your cargo evenly and as low as possible. Question 6. Alcohol can be removed from your system. Option A. By exercising. Option B. By drinking coffee. Option C. By waiting. The correct answer is option C. By waiting. Explanation. The liver removes alcohol from the body at a fixed rate, so the only way to sober up after consuming alcohol is to allow your body time to remove the alcohol on its own. Question 7. If there is a fire in your vehicle, you should not. Option A. Park in an area away from buildings, trees, brush, and other vehicles. Option B. Pull into a service station. Option C. Notify emergency services of your problem and your location. The correct answer is option B. Pull into a service station. Explanation. In the event of a vehicle fire, you should leave the road and stop in an open area. Do not pull into a service station as fuels at the service station could catch fire. Report the fire and your location to emergency services. Question 8. A Class 1 hazardous material is: Option A, an explosive. Option B, liquid. Option C, corrosive. The correct answer is option A, an explosive. Explanation. Explosives are placed in hazardous materials class 1. Question 9. While driving. Option A, creating a text is not permitted, but reading a text is. Option B, creating a text is permitted, but reading a text is not. Option C, neither creating nor reading a text is permitted. The correct answer is option C. Neither creating nor reading a text is permitted. Explanation. Texting while driving a CMV is prohibited. Texting is defined as manually entering text into or reading text from an electronic device. Question 10. If you're unfamiliar with the area in which you must back up, you should. Option A. Get out of your vehicle and walk around the area to become more familiar with it. Option B. Not use both side mirrors because it can be distracting. Option C. Wait for someone else to back up in the area so you can see how they do it. The correct answer is option A. Get out of your vehicle and walk around the area to become more familiar with it. Explanation. Before backing up, you should get out of your vehicle and look at your line of travel. Check your clearance to the sides and overhead. Question 11. One way to avoid becoming an aggressive driver is to. Option A. Talk on your cell phone while driving. Option B. Question others' driving abilities. Option C. Set realistic expectations regarding travel time. The correct answer is option C. Set realistic expectations regarding travel time. Explanation. To help avoid frustration, which can lead to aggressive driving behavior, you should begin a trip with realistic expectations about your travel time. Plan ahead to allow time for potential traffic delays. Other strategies to help prevent aggressive driving behavior include driving an appropriate speed and keeping a reasonable following distance, avoiding making gestures at other drivers, and keeping your hands on the steering wheel. Question 12. What is reaction distance? Option A. The distance you will travel between realizing you must brake and when you physically hit the brakes. Option B. The distance you will travel between a hazard becoming visible and you seeing the hazard. Option C. The distance you will travel between seeing a hazard and realizing you must brake. The correct answer is option A. The distance you will travel between realizing you must brake and when you physically hit the brakes. Explanation. Your vehicle's starting distance can be calculated by adding together your perception distance, your reaction distance, and your vehicle's braking distance. Reaction distance is the distance traveled between the moment you mentally perceive a hazard and the moment you physically hit the brakes. Question 13. A fatigued driver. Option A is usually extra alert. Option B is usually more conscientious than a typical driver. Option C may be slower to make critical decisions than a typical driver. The correct answer is option C. May be slower to make critical decisions than a typical driver. Explanation. Fatigued drivers are slower to see or react to hazards than drivers who are not fatigued. Drivers are impaired in their ability to make critical decisions when they are driving drowsy. Question 14. Before a trip, you should make sure that Option A. The brake pedal sticks. Option B. The gas pedal is loose. Option C. The groove pedal surface has not been smoothed out. The correct answer is option C. The groove pedal surface has not been smoothed out. Explanation. When checking your vehicle's pedals during a pre-trip inspection, you should ensure that there is nothing under or around the pedals that will obstruct their use. Make sure the pedals are in proper working condition and that the surfaces of the pedals are grooved, if applicable. Question 15. An air compressor governor controls. Option A. When the air compressor pumps air into the air storage tanks. Option B. How fast air is pumped into the air storage tanks. Option C. The temperature of the air pumped into the air storage tanks. The correct answer is option A. When the air compressor pumps air into the air storage tanks. Explanation. In an air brake system, the air compressor governor controls when the air compressor pumps air into the air storage tanks. Question 16. When the spring brakes are on, you should never. Option A. Turn on the lights. Option B. Turn off the vehicle. Option C. Push down the brake pedal. The correct answer is option C. Push down the brake pedal. Explanation. Never push down the brake pedal while the spring brakes are activated. The combined force of springs and air pressure could damage the brakes. Question 17. What is often found in compressed air? Option A. Water. Option B. Cardboard. Option C. Brake fluid. The correct answer is option A. Water. Explanation. Compressed air in an air brake system usually contains a certain amount of water and compressor oil. The water and oil can damage the brakes if left to accumulate in the system. Tanks must be drained regularly to remove this buildup. Question 18. Should a driver sign a vehicle inspection report? Option A. After every trip. Option B. If noted defects are repaired. Option C. After each fueling. The correct answer is option B. If noted defects are repaired. Explanation. You must sign a vehicle inspection report only if defects were noted and either certified to have been repaired or certified as not needing to be repaired. Question 19. When leaving your vehicle unattended. Option A. The parking brake must always be used. Option B. The parking brake should never be used. Option C. Windows in the cab should be lowered. The correct answer is option A. The parking brake must always be used. Explanation. Always apply the parking brake when leaving your vehicle unattended. Question 20. What should happen before the air pressure in an air brake system tank falls below 55 psi? Option A. The warning light should activate. Option B. The vehicle will be unable to shift out of gear. Option C. The front lights should flash. The correct answer is option A. The warning light should activate. Explanation. A low air pressure warning signal must activate before the air supply pressure drops below 55 psi in the air tank. If the warning signal does not turn on when being tested during an inspection, the vehicle is not safe to drive. Question 21. A cardboard box on the roadway. Option A should be expected to be on the roadway. Option B is usually empty and harmless. Option C could contain a heavy object that could damage vehicles. The correct answer is option C. Could contain a heavy object that could damage vehicles. Explanation. Almost any foreign object on the road poses some potential danger. For example, even something as seemingly harmless as a cardboard box could contain a hard or heavy object that could damage your vehicle. Question 22. When in heavy traffic, the safest driving speed is: Option A, slower than the speed being driven by surrounding traffic. Option B, the same speed being driven by surrounding traffic. Option C, faster than the speed being driven by surrounding traffic. The correct answer is option B. The same speed being driven by surrounding traffic. Explanation. In heavy traffic, it is safest to travel at the same speed as other vehicles. If two vehicles continue to drive in the same direction at the same speed, they cannot hit each other. Question 23. Which of the following is not a type of distraction? Option A, physical. Option B, mental.
Option C, obtuse.
The correct answer is option C.
Obtuse.
Explanation. Distractions that can affect safe driving can be classified as physical, such as reaching for an object, mental, such as talking with passenger, or both, such as talking on a handheld phone. Question 24. When traveling down a downgrade, the speed of a vehicle will likely: Option A, decrease. Option B, stay the same. Option C, increase. The correct answer is option C, increase. Explanation. The force of gravity will cause a vehicle's speed to increase when traveling downhill. Question 25. When operating a vehicle with a dual air brake system, the driver should: Option A, let the vehicle warm up before driving to ensure that the fuel reaches the engine. Option B, let the air compressor build up a minimum of 100 psi pressure in the primary and secondary systems before driving. Option C, begin driving just after the vehicle starts. The correct answer is option B. Let the air compressor build up a minimum of 100 psi pressure in the primary and secondary systems before driving. Explanation. Before driving a vehicle with a dual air brake system, allow time for the air compressor to build up a minimum of 100 psi pressure in both the primary and secondary systems. Watch the air pressure gauges to monitor the pressure levels. Question 26. A steering wheel should be: Option A, held with one hand while the other hand rests. Option B, held with both hands to ensure an adequate grip. Option C, released if the vehicle is approaching a bump. The correct answer is option B, held with both hands to ensure an adequate grip. Explanation. A steering wheel should be held firmly with each hand on opposite sides of the wheel. Question 27. When starting from a start: Option A, a vehicle should shift to the right. Option B, a vehicle should be put into third gear. Option C, a vehicle should not roll back. The correct answer is option C. A vehicle should not roll back. Explanation. To avoid hitting anything behind you, make sure that your vehicle does not roll back when you start from a complete start. Question 28. The blank between an air compressor and reservoir tank prevents air from escaping if the air compressor has a leak. Option A, slack adjuster. Option B, one-way check valve. Option C, tractor protection valve. The correct answer is option B, one-way check valve. Explanation. A one-way check valve is required to be between an air compressor and the first main reservoir. This valve prevents air from escaping the system if the air compressor develops a leak. Question 29. To avoid a hazard. Option A, you should always steer to the left. Option B, you may be able to drive onto the shoulder. Option C, you should steer sharply in one direction. The correct answer is option B. You may be able to drive onto the shoulder. Explanation. In some emergencies, the best strategy for avoiding a hazard may be to drive onto the shoulder. Most shoulders are strong enough to support the weight of a large vehicle. Question 30. The two markings on a front brake limiting valve usually read: Option A, normal and slippery. Option B, low and high. Option C, left and right. The correct answer is option A, normal and slippery. Explanation. Some vehicles with air brake systems manufactured before 1975 have a front brake limiting valve with normal and slippery settings. Question 31. An alcohol evaporator in an air brake system. Option A, makes the brakes work without squeaking. Option B, prevents ice from forming in the braking system. Option C, lubricates parts of the braking system. The correct answer is option B, prevents ice from forming in the braking system. Explanation. Some air brake systems include an evaporator that introduces alcohol into the system. The alcohol can help prevent ice from forming within the system. Question 32. To prevent a vehicle from rolling backward when beginning to move forward from a start position, you should: Option A, turn off the engine. Option B, partly engage the clutch. Option C, apply the emergency brake. The correct answer is option B, partly engage the clutch. Explanation. To prevent a vehicle with manual transmission from rolling backward when you begin to move forward from a start position, you can partly engage the clutch before removing your foot from the brake pedal. Question 33. When starting an engine. Option A, the brakes will lark up. Option B, warning lights should turn on, then quickly turn off. Option C, coolant temperatures should decrease. The correct answer is option B, warning lights should turn on, then quickly turn off. Explanation. After a vehicle is started, the warning lights and buzzers should go out after a few seconds. If the warning signals do not turn off, there may be something wrong with the vehicle. Question 34. Air tank drains. Option A, should not be used in cold weather. Option B, are helpful to remove water and oil from the air tanks. Option C, are used to move air to the brakes. The correct answer is option B, are helpful to remove water and oil from the air tanks. Explanation. Compressed air in an air brake system usually has a certain amount of water and oil in it. This can harm the system if allowed to accumulate. Air tanks have drain valves to aid in removing water and oil from the compressed air. Question 35. Drowsy driving is most common during. Option A, the night. Option B, the early morning. Option C, the mid-afternoon. The correct answer is option A, the night. Explanation. Drowsy driving is most common during the night because people are naturally prone to be less alert in the hours during which they are normally asleep. If you must drive at night, take every precaution to prevent fatigue driving. Question 36. A truck tractor built after March 1, 1997 must be equipped with Option A, an anti-lock braking system ABS. Option B, a flag. Option C, hydraulic. The correct answer is option A, an anti-lock braking system ABS. Explanation. Truck tractors with air brakes built on or after March 1, 1997 are required to be equipped with anti-lock braking systems ABS. Question 37. The use of a handheld mobile device while driving is Option A, prohibited. Option B, acceptable if weather conditions are clear. Option C, permitted if use is work-related. The correct answer is option A, prohibited. Explanation. Using a handheld mobile telephone while operating a CMV is both illegal and dangerous. Question 38. What should be done before transporting an overlength load? Option A, special transit permits should be acquired. Option B, fire departments along the route should be alerted. Option C, tolls should be paid. The correct answer is option A. Special transit permits should be acquired. Explanation. Overlength, overwidth, and slash or overweight loads may require special permits from the Department of Transportation. Question 39. If an air compressor is belt-driven, the belt should be routinely checked to ensure that it is Option A, thin. Option B, properly tightened. Option C, cracked. The correct answer is option B, properly tightened. Explanation. If your vehicle has air brakes, the air compressor drive belt should be checked before each drive. Check the tightness of the belt and verify that it is in good condition. Question 40. One way to prevent hydroplaning on wet road surfaces is to Option A, ensure that your tires have good tread depth. Option B, underinflate your tires. Option C, drive faster than usual. The correct answer is option A. Ensure that your tires have good tread depth. Explanation. When driving on a wet road surface, the risk of hydroplaning is increased if your tire pressure is too low or your tire tread is too worn. If you begin to hydroplane, release the accelerator and push in the clutch to slow down. Question 41. When it is difficult to see and you are traveling near other drivers, you should Option A, use high beam lights. Option B, use low beam lights. Option C, use only the clearance lights. The correct answer is option B. Use low beam lights. Explanation. Use your low beam headlights when traveling near other drivers at times when it is difficult to see, such as at dawn, at dusk, or in poor weather conditions. Using the high beam setting under certain conditions could make it difficult for other drivers to see. Question 42. If convicted of a traffic violation in your personal car, Option A, you must tell your employer. Option B, your CDL will not be affected. Option C, law enforcement will tell your employer. The correct answer is option A. You must tell your employer. Explanation. If you are convicted of any traffic violations while driving any vehicle, you must notify your employer within 30 days of the conviction. This rule excludes parking violations. Question 43. When traveling down a steep downgrade, option A. The air brakes should be used. Option B. The vehicle should be placed in a low gear and the driver should use engine braking. Option C. The driver should continually downshift instead of using the brakes. The correct answer is option B. The vehicle should be placed in a low gear and the driver should use engine braking. Explanation. On long and / or steep downgrades, you should primarily use engine braking to control the speed of your vehicle. Use your brakes only as a supplement to this effect. Question 44. The heavier the vehicle. Option A. The less important the brakes become. Option B. The harder the brakes need to work. Option C. The quieter the brakes will sound. The correct answer is option B. The harder the brakes need to work. Explanation. The heavier a vehicle is, the more the brakes will need to work to bring the vehicle to a complete stop. Question 45. If a truck is equipped, a trailer brake hand valve can be used to. Option A. Add fuel to the truck. Option B. Prevent the truck from rolling back when being started from a start. Option C. Check the engine oil level. The correct answer is option B. Prevent the truck from rolling back when being started from a start. Explanation. If a tractor trailer is so equipped, the trailer brake hand valve can be used to stop the vehicle from rolling back when being started from a start. Question 46. You may be an aggressive driver if you. Option A. Expect delays on your drive. Option B. Slow down and maintain a reasonable following distance. Option C. Make hand gestures that could anger other drivers. The correct answer is option C. Make hand gestures that could anger other drivers. Explanation. Avoid being an aggressive driver by being realistic about your travel time, making allowance for delays, maintaining reasonable following distances, and not making hand gestures that could anger another driver. Question 47. When conducting a pre-drive inspection. Option A. The inspection report is not important. Option B. The inspection report must only be reviewed if there will be passengers in the vehicle. Option C. The previous inspection report should be reviewed, if applicable. The correct answer is option C. The previous inspection report should be reviewed, if applicable. Explanation. The first step of a vehicle inspection is to review the last vehicle inspection report. Only sign the report if noted defects are certified to have been repaired. Question 48. Blank make up the emergency brake system. Option A. Only parts of the parking brake system. Option B. Only parts of the service brake system. Option C. Parts of the parking and service brake systems. The correct answer is option C. Parts of the parking and service brake systems. Explanation. In an air brake system, there are 3 different braking systems: a service brake system, a parking brake system, and an emergency brake system. The emergency brake system uses parts of both the parking and service brake systems. Question 49. A dual air brake system. Option A. Consists of 2 separate air brake systems that share a single set of controls. Option B is a single air brake system with two different sets of controls. Option C consists of one air brake system for the left side of the truck and one system for the right side of the truck, each with its own set of controls. The correct answer is option A. Consists of two separate air brake systems that share a single set of controls. Explanation. A dual air brake system is made up of two separate air brake systems. The systems share a single set of brake controls, but each has its own air tanks, hoses, and lines. One system typically operates the regular brakes on the rear axle or axles, while the other system operates the regular brakes on the front axle. Question 50. The rods and S-cam brakes move the slack adjusters when air pressure is added to the brake chambers. This air pressure is added to the chambers when the driver. Option A presses the brake pedal. Option B uses the emergency brake. Option C uses the trailer hand valve. The correct answer is option A. Presses the brake pedal. Explanation. When pressing the brake pedal in a vehicle with S-cam brakes, air will enter the brake chambers. The added air pressure will push out the rods and move slack adjusters, twisting the brake camshafts.